To begin printing your etchings, you need to choose 3 pieces of paper for your backgrounds. I would recommend choosing a darker paper. On the back of each paper, you're going to write your name, your class code, and then number them 1 through 3. So on my first paper, I'm going to write 1. On my next paper, I'm going to write 2. And my third paper, I'm going to write 3 so that I don't lose track. If you're using black, please write it in a colored pencil or a crayon so I can read it. And your other colors, if they're light enough, you can use your pencil. To begin printing, you guys are going to get a piece of metal, and that's called a bench hook. Your bench hook is where your ink is going to go. You're also going to be using this roller, and your roller is called a brayer. That's what's going to help get your ink from your bench hook onto your etching plate and then onto your paper. We're going to put a small amount of white ink on your bench hook, and you want to use your brayer to get it evenly on there. So I'm going to push and lift up until my brayer is filled with ink. You'll hear kind of like a sizzling sound, and that's how you know you have enough ink on your brayer. Once your brayer is full of ink, not too much, then you are going to very carefully roll it onto your foam etching. You got to go nice and slow. Make sure it's even. You want to get the whole thing. It'll be hard to see since it's white on white, so really try to pay attention. When you lay your brayer down, make sure you're laying it with the flat side down and not the roller part down. For this step, I did it a little backwards than your written directions say. So in the written directions, I say to lay your paper down and put your etching on top. I believe that would be easier than the way I'm showing you in this video. Either way, you want to use your hands to make a fist and rub with your knuckles evenly all over your whole paper. The reason that I say that it's easier to lay your etching on top of your paper versus the other way around is so that you have a nice even border. When I laid my paper on top of my etching, I couldn't see if it was centered or not, so my border isn't even all the way around. Once you think that you have enough ink, you're going to gently pull it up and set it off to the side. You're going to repeat this process until you have all 3 of your prints completed. Be very careful that you don't get this ink on your clothes. We're going to be working on our messy mat. For your next etching, you're going to take your brayer, recoat it with ink, and give it a nice layer. Repeat these processes until all 3 of your etching prints are printed. Double check that when you lay your paper down that you are printing not on the side with your name. You need your name on the back and your work on the front. Once all 3 of your prints are completed, you can put your work on the drying rack.